Welcome to the Voice for Mount Pleasant podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
Hello, this is Roger Gaither, your host for the Voice for Mount Pleasant podcast. Today, senior contributing writer with Mount Pleasant Magazine, Pamela Jouan, talks with Charlton Singleton, who, among other things, is a member of the Grammy award-winning band Ranky Tanky that celebrates the sounds of Gullah. Today, part 2 of the podcast. Now, again, here is Pamela and Charlton.
Hi there, and welcome to another edition of the Voice of Mount Pleasant podcast. Today we are here with Charlton Singleton. Charlton is actually a native of Charleston, South Carolina. He grew up in Awanda. His father is a retired minister for the AME Church and was an educator, and his mother is a retired librarian from Lincoln High School. And Charlton happens to be the co-founder and was the conductor of the Charleston Jazz Orchestra from 2008 to 2018. And now he is part of Ranky Tanky, Grammy award-winning band that celebrates the sounds of Gullah. We were talking a little bit about some of the gospel singers that are out there. Think of Bessie Jones. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you think of her, or maybe for people who don't realize it, think of Moby's album.
Oh, yeah.
1998.
Yeah.
With, the song Honey.
Sometime.
I think Honey samples her, but
Honey's his song, but
right.
The song that she was singing is Sometime.
Okay.
Which is a song that actually we did on the Good Time album. You know, it's way down yonder.
Oh, yes, of
below
course.
the law.
Right.
Yes. Sometime. Yeah.
Right.
And so Bessie Jones is definitely the superstar in the Gullah community with regards to her music and her interpretations of a lot of the Gullah material. Then you've got groups like the Moving Star Hall Singers that are still around, just generation after generation. That group has kept it going. The people that are in there are the daughters and the nieces of the daughters and the nieces of the daughters and the nieces of the daughters and the nieces and the uncles of the daughters and the nieces of the uncles of the original.
Right.
It's literally like a family thing, and they still have the music going. You've got other groups that pay homage to the Gullah community with their performances around here. Folks like Ann Caldwell, folks like the Magnolia Singers, the Plantation Singers. They are more closely to the authentic, style. They have a few, sometimes they might bring in a djembe to play or have some tambourines and things like that. Mm-hmm. But that's the authenticity. Ranky Tanky is the contemporary, definitely.
I guess in a way, though, with you growing up here and it still being part of your community, you get to also be a part of that next generation that is a voice for a culture that we all know in some way or form, but maybe we just don't realize it.
Oh, definitely.
Out of curiosity, given the times that we're in today, given the cultural climate, given Black Lives Matter, given everything that's going on, as an ambassador of Gullah music, do you take on a role that maybe requires a little more responsibility? Is it something that maybe will inform or change in some way the music of Ranky Tanky in the future?
I don't know about changing, the music. But the minute that we step out of mom and dad's house, we're ambassadors. The minute that we step foot away from Charleston, where the band, makes its home, is, you're an ambassador. And wherever we have gone so far, we have been very, very spoiled with very good crowds.
Right.
Whether it was playing out on the West Coast, whether it was playing in the Midwest, whether it was playing in the Czech Republic, we have always left them, standing good, clapping and everything. Just the other day, I was looking on social media, and I saw this crowd I had these two pictures, and one of them was 15 minutes before we started playing. And then I took a picture right when we were about to start playing. The 15 minutes before, there was maybe about, I don't know, 100 people standing in front of us. When we got to the other one, there's probably an estimated, I don't know, 7, 8, 10,000 people standing in front of us. And at the end of that concert, at the end of 45 minutes, they are standing there singing the encore that we had just done by themselves. We had already left the stage, and they were still there, and they were singing a Gullah song called Shulalu. I mean, and just clapping as happy as they want to, singing Shulalu. So with regards to the material that we will produce, I don't think it's gonna change anything.
Okay.
But any new material that we write definitely has the spirit of Gullah in it. Actually, though, there are some songs. If you listen to the lyrics, there are some songs that are really set up really nicely for what's happening today. Songs like Freedom.
Sure.
Songs like Beat 'Em Down, like I was singing the chorus to Beat 'Em Down.
Yes.
Yeah, the music definitely is going to always lead with the Gullah first.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And then you mentioned Shulalu.
Shulalu.
Shulalu. Can you play a little bit of that? Can?
Well, it's really not
You had mentioned before, it's really maybe the closest to as authentic as you can get.
Okay.
Even though you've got the instruments.
Can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
Okay. All you have to do is repeat after me.
Okay.
All you have to do is sing Shulalu.
Shulalu.
Shulalu, okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's gonna go like this. 1, 2, 3. Shulalu.
Shulalu.
Shulalu. Wait. Shulalu. Sing this with me. Shulalu. 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 Keep doing that. Shulalu. Just in the kitchen.
Shulalu.
With a handful of biscuits.
Shulalu.
We're Ranky Tanky.
Shulalu.
Fly away over yonder.
Shulalu.
One clap. Shulalu. Keep doing that. It's good. Shulalu. Shulalu. I'm gonna hire you. Shulalu. Just in the kitchen.
Shulalu.
With a handful of biscuits.
Shulalu.
Her name is Pamela.
Shulalu.
Fly away over yonder.
Shulalu.
Shulalu. Shulalu. That's basically, that's one of the most authentic of the Gullah tunes. Definitely.
Well,
You did good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get criticized by my family for that. There was a couple extra things. I wanted to talk to you about your congratulations. You just released a soap album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Date Night.
Date Night.
So I think that took a couple of years in the making.
Yes. It's really a tale of two cities.
Okay.
The song has the record has 8 songs on it. The first 4 songs are instrumental.
Okay.
And the last 4 songs are vocals.
Yes.
that I sing.
Right.
And let's start with the last 4. The last 4 were songs that I wrote back between 1997 and 1998, somewhere in that sort of vicinity. And I was actually in a ska band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, it was a ska band, and it was just a very creative period, and I tried to write some material for the band that was a little different from the heavy, loud ska music that we were playing.
Right.
And so I've always wanted to record it. That band never recorded any of those songs, but I liked them. They were my creations, so I just sort of always kept them over, to the side.
Right.
And always begged some of my good friends around here to make demos of them or whatever have you. And we finally got to the studio and started this process of doing that about 3 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago, we start that process. Along comes this band called Ranky Tanky,
Right.
and that process takes a little hiatus.
Right.
About a year and a half ago, I literally get all of these ideas about instrumental songs. And I would basically run into the house, I would sit down at my piano, I would pull out my phone, and I would record these little 1-minute songs of ideas that I had that were instrumental. And so I had maybe about 5 or 6 of those that I really thought were pretty good, that could, be transformed. And the last piece was that I contacted or got with some former students of mine. Some former students of mine that are incredible musicians and incredible producers. And I literally said, here's what I have. I trust you. I've been listening to them for so long that I can't stand it anymore, and just do something with it. And they basically came back to me and said, meet me at the studio at this day and play over what we have just created. And so that's sort of the short story of how Date Night came about.
Is Dr. Demetrius one of the?
Demetrius Doctors.
Demetrius Doctor, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Demetrius Doctor and Calvin Baxter.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They are pretty much the big nucleus of that.
Can you play us a little bit of from something?
Let's see.
And to think about the evolution from a ska song to what it ended up in is very
okay, I'm thinking about this because I'm at church. Let's see. One of the songs that we wrote, or that I wrote for them, was a song called "Turn the Lights Down."
Okay.
Okay. I'll just sing the chorus. Turn the lights down, don't make a sound. Love is in the atmosphere tonight, and everything's gonna be alright. Turn the lights down. That's basically the chorus.
Yes.
And then I wrote a song for she was my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife of 20 years now.
That's good to know.
Yes.
I was a little worried. Were you going with that?
No,
She's going to be listening.
And so I wrote this song called Soulmate. We were coming back from a trip from Vermont.
Okay.
And just something hit me as we were riding in the van. And I was just like, you know what? She's the one.
Oh, so you wrote this for her before you were married?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, she's the one. And I grabbed a piece of paper, and just started to sketch things out. And it just sort of steamrolled. It was just, I was on a roll. Yeah. And by the time we got to wherever our next destination was, I had this, I had this song, so so that's on it. And then I have some other instrumentals, like I have a song called Sunrise. It's the first song on the album. It's the first song that you hear. And it's a ya da da ba ba da ba da ba ya da 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 ya da da ba ba da ba ba da da ba da 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 ya da da ba ba da 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 ba ba and da 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 ya da. So that with the trumpet.
With the trumpet. Yes. I will say, and when I listened to the album, that to me also there were kind of religious overtones. Like you hear a song like that, and I do think think of some of the songs you've heard about just praising the moment.
Right. Definitely, there's always going to be a number of different influences. And different genres that come through my playing just from how I was raised, in church or, and played in a lot of different ensembles and exposure in school, and other places to all kinds of different styles and sounds and things like that. So all of that comes into play when I am composing something or when I'm thinking about, a song or how to interpret a song,
I think in a way, as you have mentioned throughout this interview, Gullah music has informed so many different types of genres of music. Mm-hmm. And you had mentioned in an interview I read that Kumbaya
Oh, yeah.
is
Probably the greatest known Gullah song of all time.
that I did not know.
A lot of people don't know that.
I remember learning that song probably when I was 5 years old, living in London, going to Catholic school, and I did not know it was from the Gullah community.
That song is from the Gullah community. When we go out on the road, there's a few spots in the show where I'll speak to the audience and I'll explain, certain things about certain songs. Like I'll say, Kumbaya, and they're like, or Michael Rowed the Boat Ashore.
Right.
Or if anybody's ever seen Sweetgrass Baskets, the whole thing about patty cake on 2 and 4. We do a song. We do a song called "You Gotta Move," and "You Gotta Move." A lot of people know that as the song that the Rolling Stones did. Nah, that's Gullah. They covered that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move, child. Oh, you gotta move. When the Lord gets ready, you gotta move. That's a gospel song. That's all spiritual right there.
Right.
From the Gullah community.
Right.
So, yeah, it's out there. And a lot of people have come into contact with a lot of things Gullah, but they probably just didn't know that was the root of it. So.
Well, we are really glad that you started Ranky Tanky so you could get the word out and so people could understand what the roots are. And I think that's really important. I think today it's really important for all of us to know what our roots are.
Definitely.
So having a chance to find out authentic parts of music, I think are really important to all of us. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time out for us today.
You're welcome.
I don't know if there's anything you want to end with. I would still like a little Kumbaya if you don't mind.
Let's see.
But I'm not singing.
Yeah, I'm not really. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. I've never played Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya. Someone pray.
Thanks for spending your time with the Voice for Mount Pleasant podcast by Mount Pleasant Magazine. Your community, your podcast. Listen to past episodes at voiceformp.com.